Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks,
I'm so sorry for the timing, but it's so good to see all of you. I can say that. It's so good to see Ricardo and everybody. Thank you so much, Beth, for coming also, and also to accepting. I haven't talked to all the facilitators, but we had a good chance. And today, Beth is going to be the one bringing her check-in, so we can have a chance to get to know her a little bit more as well, and also offering the welcoming part for today's session. So Beth, thank you so much. And then I'll hand it to you. Today, she's going to be talking to us a lot of things because we're going to be also learning a little bit about the community of Prosocial World organization. And Dunia is coming up at later on in this meeting today. Beth is going to bring a little bit about the content of the reports and the research part of an aspect and perspectives of this program of this year, and also a little bit of the outcomes we're having with the possibilities for preparing a project for new funds, and then also something that she's going to bring over. And then we're going to have the opportunity to share and talk about that. And also I would like to have some time to explain and also introduce a couple of the things Ashley has sent to me in a way that we can organize ourselves with information for the fundings and how to pay and get the money this month for our projects proposals that we had handled this month. Okay, so thank you so much. I'll hand it to you, Beth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody. I hope everybody is having a nice day so far. Okay, so I'll share a little bit about me, and then I have a kind of a fun check-in exercise that I haven't done before that we can try. So, okay, well, let's see. As you all know, I'm the director of research here at Prosocial World, and I'm learning about Prosocial along with you all. So let's see a bit about my journey. I'll start with some details about my professional life, and then we'll share some personal stuff. So let's see. I won't go all the way back to when I was born, but I'll start in my 20s. So in my 20s, I received an undergraduate degree in cultural anthropology. And then surprisingly, I ended up working in the medical field for about 15 years and not using my degree. Then later I returned to university to get my master's in landscape architecture. And then I ended up working at a national laboratory as a researcher, which seemed even more bizarre. So I now have about 15 years experience working as a social science researcher at university, and then at a United States Department of Energy National Laboratory, Oak Ridge National Lab. And then 10 years ago, I started a research and education nonprofit named 3 Cubed, and then now I'm with Prosocial World. But most of my research has included the identification of indicators and to measure impacts and outcomes of programs. And in the past, my research was limited to programs implemented in the United States, and all included in-person field work, which is just substantially different to research approaches online and then also in other countries, I'm learning. So my in-person research included community conversations, participatory action research, surveys, interviews, identification of key stakeholders, and social network analyses. So all of my research previous to Prosocial World included working within historically underrepresented communities, and we focused primarily on racial equity and climate justice and community resilience, adoption of innovations and such. So that probably was all very boring, and I'll share a little bit about myself as a person. Well, I currently live in a mountainous region in the Southeast United States, in the state of Tennessee, with my partner and 5 cats, whom I think you all have seen walk by several times. Let's see, over my lifetime, I have moved from place to place, mostly on the West Coast in the United States, and I've moved 38 times to be exact. Let's see. So my parents, they were traveling journalists and were often, unavailable, and I didn't have any other family around, and I learned really young that I could not depend on others, and became fiercely independent. And in the United States, it seems like the more independent you are from your family, the more successful you are. I no longer believe this, and I believe that love and connection to others in nature is critical for one and all to authentically thrive. Let's see. So I raised my son, who is now 23, as a single parent, and I eventually got married 2 years ago, which was a big step for me because I have kept all the doors around my heart closed. As you all may have noticed, I can be quite shy. I'm learning to be more comfortable sharing my thoughts and feelings. Let's see. I resigned from my previous nonprofit because I had become physically ill, which was just a physical manifestation, I believe, of my sick soul, and not being in nature. So I started a new chapter that includes the soul journey, and exploration of more spiritual fulfillment. And I believe that the universe directed me to Prosocial World and this group as a part of this journey. Wow, for someone that doesn't like to talk about myself, I shared a lot. Thank you for listening. So that's some about me, and then I have this check-in that's that we'll call Pass the Love. Seems like a good check-in, yeah? So the goal is to get, is it okay to start the check-in? Okay. So the goal is to get everyone standing. We're going to get standing, and we want to pass the message of love and appreciation around the Zoom circle. And I want to visualize us as if we're in this in a circle, in a sacred circle of some sort. So I invite all that are willing and able to stand up. So we're going to do what Oscar did: make us stand up. If you're willing and able, and slightly back up so we can see your hands. Yeah, there we go. So I want to invite everybody to close your eyes, not necessarily right now, but here in a moment, to close your eyes and think of that place that you love, that where you feel the most peaceful. Imagine it, and then connect all your senses, and then hold that thought in your hands like a ball. So after we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to pass that gift of love and its energy, to the person in the frame next to you. I guess you can either, go, that's my left, or go to your right, or, down, like. So as someone passes the gift to you, say, I invite you to join me in my place of peace. When I pass it to you, then the person on that side of the screen will receive the gift, hold it, feel it, pass the gift on to the next person, and say, I invite you to join me in my place of peace. So we'll see how this works. It might be, it might not work, but I think it's fun to try. So I'm imagining my place of peace, and I can hear it and feel it, and I have it in my hand, and I'm handing it over here, which is to Marilini. And I say, I invite you to join me in my place of peace. So I hand this to you, Marilyn.
E da minha esquerda, quem tá aparecendo aqui para mim, deixa eu ver. É que eu aqui apareço do lado direito, mas eu tô vendo em seguida o Oscar. Então eu convido o Oscar.
I invite Oscar to participate in my peaceful place.
Thank you, Marilene. I receive it with love. It's a beautiful place, the one you have shared with us. And to this place, I add my place of peace, and I pass it to Ricardo. Thank you, Oscar. I receive it from this side. Thank you, Oscar, for sharing me your place. It's this warm and quiet place that I feel from you, with lots of singing birds. And I would like to pass my place, which can be a sunset with breeze, silence, and smiles. And I want to pass it to Lorenza. Thank you, Ricardo. I want to invite to my place of happiness and freedom to Michelle, which is next to me.
Thank you, Lorenza. Now I'd like to share my sacred space with love that brings me warmth, and also the sound of birds and nature, water, rain, life. And I pass it to Ceci, who's on my side, this side over here. I can also do it like that, Ceci. That's for you.
Te ofrezco mi amor, todo este espacio maravilloso de Brasil, interno.
Without my love from Brazil to you, Ceci.
Gracias, Michelle. Recibo
Thank you, Michelle. I receive with love this place of peace and love. And I would like to share with Adrian this place of love and peace that I would like you to come. And I give it to you. I pass it to you, Adrian.
Thank you, Stacey. Thank you very much. I am going to share my place of peace with Marcelo. So, Marcelo, I invite you to my place of peace.
Obrigado, Adrian. Gratidão.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. I welcome it with a lot of love, your place of peace. And I'd like to offer my place of peace, tranquility, connection with nature, with what's most valuable to me. And I'm offering it to Beth. Up here. Here you go, Beth.
I receive your place of peace. Thank you. I would like to pass to Anna. Anna, I'm passing my place and Marcelo's place of peace to you, Anna, if you would like to receive.
Bom, então eu vou passar o meu lugar de paz.
Right, so I pass my place of peace to Carol.
E ofereço aqui toda a minha
And I offer here
atenção e meu carinho.
all of my availability and care. I don't know what to do now.
Maritza? Maritza? It's okay if Maritza. Oh, there you are.
I receive this place of love and harvest on my heart and give it back to you, Beth.
Thank you for playing. That was fun.
Oh, no. Okay.
Thank you so much, Beth. It was wonderful. Wonderful to share love and spread out the space of peace that we carry out. We carry with us all the time. At the same time, Marilene has shared with us her space with photos and pictures. After, if you would like to share as well, everybody is invited to share. If it's possible to see the space, because sometimes the space is inside, but it's also something that you would like to express. It's always welcome. Thank you, Beth, so much for that check-in and for your courage to put yourself in the first person to bring out your story. It was amazing to hear from you and get to know a little bit more about yourself and make that even more special, being part of this team together with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, so today we're gonna have, I'm gonna open up, I'm already like needing my tissue papers. I have no idea what is happening, but since Thursday is already an expert to send me those things, and I have no idea what happened to me, because it's just like something that comes, I think, from the cosmos or whatever. Or all you guys are making me cry all the time and come on tears. So I just need to make sure in Barichara, when we have that time, it's possible for us to also have a couple of tissue papers, but ecological ones. We're gonna do something to recycle and everything to make sure. Yes, that's what I think. Maybe I'll bring a tissue, not paper, but tissue. Like a towel, right? I'll have like a towel to do that. But thank you so much. I would like to give you an idea of general content and information that I think is really important. We are having this month, and then I'll pass to Beth right after, a challenge to finish our report of this journey that we are going through together this semester, this year and last year, right? And at the same time, there is a combination of documents that we are doing that it's going to be related to the report, written report, which we are gladly to have Beth's support with Robert and David from Prosocial World. But we're going to all be invited to come along and help. At the same time, we have a second part. We have the collective video, which we are very honored to have Oscars as one of our co-facilitators and also our masters and our main leader to guide us with this, with some of the suggestions and some of his skills and talents that he's been bringing from all his life, not just this life, probably other lives as well, but bringing an offering to this collective in a way that we can build a very beautiful story related to our journey together. What is important and how we can translate into images and art, something that is very unique from this group. From the other side, we also have some opportunities. So this is for our project that is formally finishing kind of this semester, as Robert had said, but we have as co-facilitators, we've been talking in a way that we can keep on doing our efforts and that we would like to be together working in different projects and working together in a way that we can support each other's project, and also how we can build a community together in a way that we can enhance projects together. For that perspective, we are doing a couple of projects that I would like to say. Maybe next time I'll have a design. Marcelo will help me with that. So what is happening of that? We are looking for new funds and running and making proposals for opportunities together. We're also having the possibility of raising money together and making and developing an experience in Barichara so we can meet everybody face to face the second semester. And we're working on that too, inviting people, talking with Joe Brewer. Some of you had a chance to meet him, some not, but he's the one that has been working with prosociality and prosocial in communities of regeneration parts of the world. And Barichara is one of the special places which have been working with a lot of this mindset of prosociality in locals and territory. And also we have Sassy and Oscar here who are part of, their organizations are also part of this territory. So could be a great opportunity for us, not just to be together face to face, so we can see each other and work together as a community to build up and strengthen our relationship, but also to learn and experience that experience together with the people who is from the territory. Learn from them and share a little bit what we've been doing together with the community itself. So those are some of the aspects. Besides that, we also have a proposal that Ceci is being and for the Prosocial project, we have Lorenza as one of our main leaders. So collective video, we have Oscars, and our main leader for the Barichara experience, it's being Lorenza with the support of everybody here in the team as co-facilitators, but she's being our main facilitator and giving us guidelines. We also have a third opportunity that is on the side, which is to develop a prosocial experiential learning journey with this team, all of us that has been participating, attending this program in Latin America, plus Adrian, right, Adrian? We already put yourself in Latin America because Africa and Latin America are so, like, there's just an ocean who had separated us in the story, but we are kind of the same part. It was like that, right? And then the ocean came up and did like that. So please always feel part of, when I say Latin America, I would say Latin America plus Cameroon. Is that okay? Or Latin America plus Africa. Africa is so big, but I think Cameroon has this strong energy represented by you. Is that okay? So I would say people Latin America plus Cameroon. Is it good, Adrian? Yes, okay. So honoring Adrian in this part of the world as well. So in our project of Latin America plus Cameroon, we're talking about all the possibilities of writing this project in a way that we can co-design an experiential prosocial learning journey for prosocial world community in a way that we can build up and offer in Portuguese and Spanish, and if we think it's possible also in English, in the Prosocial World Organization umbrella. So it's something that we also being offered to do. And who is guiding us in this opportunity? It's Ceci. So we've been having all this amount of possibilities that not just by finishing formally a project and program together with TWCF, the Templeton Foundation, we will keep remaining on activities and actions in a way that we can enhance and promote even more activities and projects and possibilities for this group and other groups that can come along. So I just would like to share about that because this is whole mindset that is coming and this is merging and it's already happening. So if you guys, Adrian, Ricardo, will also get interested about in any of those things, please let us know because we are setting up meetings that is not just going to be formally on Wednesdays, but we're having meetings like in general as co-facilitators in this journey, okay? And the third topic that I would like to have is like a general information. I'm going to ask Ashley, this is going to be the funding part. All the organizations, and I'm talking about that because I think just Adrian is just the one that I need to send the report, and I'm working on that too, because I know Terry has applied for this project fund. And I just need to make sure it's okay for this funding go directly to you. Since we have Latin American, unfortunately, we have that mainly umbrella. I know that part is going to Terry for the whole organization of community conservation, but we really would like to have some part, if it's possible, to go directly to your organization. So this is something that we are working on, but all the other projects that had applied, we had already validated. We're just missing that point for you, Adrian, but all the other ones are validated. I'm asking Ashley to actually send a message for all of you, giving you the guidelines. I was thinking about her coming today, but she's feeling like she's getting back on track on her health. And for her now, it's very late. It's like for Sole, when she comes on this time, it's already 10 p.m., 11 p.m. also for them. But she's coming better from her health issues. So I thought it was too much for her to come at this time, knowing her situation. but she can also send to all of you. I'm working with that in a way that I can have translated all the information, but then she probably will get some advices and orientation, give, sorry, translators, because actually we need to fill up some papers that is from the government, American government and policies. I just need to double check. Some of our organizations already had received the money for the participatory video equipment. But she had mentioned that there is something different because since we're not getting any receipts from purchasing equipment, we are actually sending money as a donation for implementing into your project in the way that you can use the way you had applied in your program. They need to just have some couple of forms like W8 form or something like that is needed to be added to the situation to receive those funds. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, just probably sending them this message from tomorrow to Friday and honoring. So we're gonna need for those paperwork, and also we're gonna have the bank account. Thank you so much for the ones who had sent me already the bank account information. Oscar, I'm still working on the thing for you because that's what I mentioned. Ashley needs to write a letter, but we're working on that. And also just missing the agents, and I think a couple of people who hasn't sent in me yet, but most of it is all okay. It's all okay about that. Any questions about all those contents that I had just shared with all of you? Questions, Mari?
Tá tudo bem.
Tá bom, obrigada.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Sorry. If you guys have any questions, Oscar, anyone? It's all okay? Okay. So let me add one more thing. Since we're working with so many possibilities of raising funds, this is one of the main key aspects we are trying to work as co-facilitators, how we can build up those projects in a way that we can write and have support and fundings for all the organizations who've been participating. And one of the aspects that we've been talking with David, he's been invited for so many different conferences. I think you guys had a chance to meet David last week. Oh, no. Did you? I don't think you had. Did you all get to know David Wilson? Adrian, did you have a chance to meet him? I think you were the only one because I think Ricardo was in the check-in in the beginning of the program. Ricardo, you know David, right? Okay, David Sloan Wilson, he's the president of Prosocial World. He's one of the main, he was the key person who had actually apply for the fund to have the projects we are running at this moment. So he's the one who's been thinking and a very good, important researcher who believes in more than just science. Yes, he really loves science and he's a really deep researcher. But at the same time, he believes in a way that science can be promoting the flourishment of the humanity in a way that we can collectively actually enhance possibilities of making better processes as humankind, and at the same time having a content and systemic and complex view related to the planet, to Mother Earth, and more things. If I could try to translate David, it's just so hard. He's an amazing person, and he's always trying to promote and giving his authority, reputation towards to something that he wants to see be seated, right? And give the nourishment that is needed in every single project and community that he can see that this is happening. So David is the one who's been helping us to also co-design possibilities to raise funds. And he's always been invited to many different conferences to give speeches and talks and lectures. And he got invited to talk about in Aruba, in a conference, I think, from Templeton Foundation, which is all around love. And one of the things that he's been keeping asking us is like, how actually is love being communicated or it's being said in our meetings? And I said, yes, It's like, how many times the word love is being mentioned in each meeting? I said, this is different because the way we do is not just mentioning the word love. There's so many different ways to express love that we've been using. Different words, how we can handle the relationship, how we can support each other's struggles, how we can support each other's just by saying about what is happening in our programs and projects in our contexts, and also to support each other in general. And then out of that, he asked us to see if we could apply and make a small video about love around what is happening in this project. And this is another aspect that Oscar is like been doing. I don't know if he had slept from yesterday to today because we started to share this content. And then we can also have an opportunity about sharing a little bit about this video, which is one way that we've been seeing and thinking about how we can translate the love that we've been going through this community for him to share with that Latin American community in Aruba in a couple of months, in a couple of days, weeks. Okay, so just to make sure that everybody is aware of so many things that is happening, and then any ideas that you could have that could promote or support us in those activities is more than welcome to bring up. Facilitators, any other thing that we could add or any questions? Ceci would like to share a little bit about the project of co-facilitation, and Lorenza about Barichara, very short. Is an invitation.
La pregunta es,
The question is, of my project or the project that we are doing together? Of the project that we are doing collectively for Prosocial. Of what we are doing when we arrive here in Barichara. Yes, it could be around that, or about the workshop to share our experience of Prosocial with a bigger community, where we are going to act as co-facilitators with our main co-facilitator, you. As we say in Colombia, you just took me in an unexpected moment to talk about that. I feel not prepared to talk about that. That's unfair, Michelle, that you just fire me straight. Well, I'm thinking in one of the main challenges we have is that we are not going to be entirely theoretical, but practical. But I still keep thinking on the main idea that should cohesion us. It would be like the principles that we identify with. How these projects that we are doing on the practice, how do they are linked with those principles which are theoretical? But that's what I can share. The rest is secret. I cannot share. Oh, you just sorted out things perfectly for that you were not expecting this question, Ceci. Thank you. Because we are all invited, Adrian, Ricardo, to participate in this experience of Prosocial. That it's under construction because it's a collective construction, and give us a marvelous opportunity that Robert and all the researchers that have participated here have helped us with, So we want to make an effort of what we can do together, offering our real cases of our communities and the experiences we are having as a community of Latin America and Cameroon. Ye- Came- Okay, we're checking the pronunciation of Cameroon in Spanish. Would you like to share something about what we are thinking about to do in Barichara, Lorenza? Thinking about what we are going to develop in Barichara, I don't know if I can share a document of what we have talked about, but the main idea is that we give us a space, always with the intention to have like a participatory video part 2 going, that when we arrive to Barichara, to start with the fireplace, sharing something very personal, and in the other days to develop or to get more information on how are we going to take our decisions, to make a collective work of our collective purpose, and what are we going to do to reach that process, that purpose. And depending on what we work about the decision making, to work on sessions on our own organizations like La Jungla, Colapsol, Ojo de Agua, and to show like a characteristic activity of each organization and introduce it to the rest of the collective, and all have the chance to experience that, or in the afternoon to go back and work on the common objectives, because the decision making will mean that a group of people will be responsible for those objectives. So the idea is to keep working on those objectives. So at the end of that meeting, that we can start action and we can start moving towards the achievement of those goals. We also had lots of input from CESI just to get to know more about the territory, the projects there, and having the chance to get to know exactly what is going on in the territory. We were talking also with Joe, and we can also integrate the organizations which are working there in Barichara and generate an interaction with all the organizations. That's a kind of summary of what we have been thinking about. We are developing this program because we need a budget for that. We don't have it yet, but we believe that working together around the subjects such as education, we will discover the possibilities to search for new funds. And it's our opportunity to do a collective action. And there is a research that says that love can be developed and can be experienced during meetings, collective meetings, but it's sustainable when we have the opportunity to meet face to face. And that's the principle we are taking as a principle of our purpose. And we are inviting people just to work around this purpose and around the possibilities that we have to work together, not only in Barichara, the pilot project, but also what are the expression of us as a collective that can inspire other territories as well, and to learn from that exchange, which is also very important to learn in the process. Thank you, Lorenza and Ceci. And if anybody has questions about, I would like to know more about those projects, will be bringing more information and inviting that to dialogue. But if you have questions, and there are many possibilities to work together, so don't hesitate to communicate your questions.
For all your support, and I know it's been a lot of information, but it's so important for us to share a little bit what is happening. And at this time, Oscar, would you like to share the video, or can you let me know? Oh, ¿usted puede decirme cuando está como listo la oportunidad de compartir el video del amor?
Vale, les pediría que me dieran un...
I will ask you to give me more time because it's uploading, and I will need at least half an hour to finish the upload. And I would like to just share the link in YouTube so that each one has the chance to see it, and we don't lose the time with it. Would you like to share something about the participatory video, the collective one that we are preparing? What I feel today, since yesterday I started to receive material, and I think it works very good working like this. It's very good in the material with what I have received. Everyone was very careful to preserve the technical conditions of the video. So there are very good material there. So I think we can continue working on that way. And what we have to do is to take the video, the one we are going to see today, was just impressions around love. The main idea of this video was how to express the idea of love. But in this other case, we will have to think what would be the main idea we are going to talk about. And it's very important to define something very concrete, because since we are many, it could turn to be abstract. So we want to achieve some clarity, concreteness, and that's important with answering like one or two questions that is the same for all of us. With the activity that Beth suggested today, of passing the energy through these cameras from one to each other, and that we had the opportunity to receive, to make it richer and pass it on. I think it was a very good idea that we can take to reinterpret and take it like the main idea to develop the video. It could be a little bit complicated. We only have 15 days to go, but I think we have time to do something on that direction. Do you think that we will have time enough next week to do that?
Do you think that if we have... Oh, okay.
Sí, yo creo que si trabajamos la otra
Yes,
semana,
I think if we work next week, there is time enough, and then the week after we can decide on a compact version of it. It is also important to put subtitles, I think it's important that each person has the chance to talk in its own language, to have the freedom to express freely. Here it was important because we had like concrete indications, like 10 seconds, as we did in this video. But it's important that we could create clear criteria so that the material that we have, that we upload, is already good enough to integrate on the video. If I want my process to appear, I would have to work on that. If I want to work on a conceptual idea, it's important that we work on the synthesis of that, what I want to share, so that we are efficient in the communication, that we don't lost ourselves in lots of thoughts while doing the video. So we need to get concrete. Thank you, Oscar. We did an activity with Sole, and we will invite Sole next week to share what we did with an activity and on the Miro board. But I think it was a good idea. We started on the past, making a review. I just taking that to whom we would like to do this video. And some of the things that we have done have a very strong message. So we want to have both, like the emotional and the rational component together. We want to think about who the organizations who can be the founders of the project, that can connect with the beauty of this project and proposal. So identify them as potential founders. We would like to do as well something which is particular to Latin America, that is Cameroon, to share part of our soul, to show our process of healing and what we express here. As well, we would like to share something of the indicators of impact, that part of or those aspects which are more rational of our projects. So next week, we are going to invite Sole to dive deeper into this methodology that we started to do with the participatory video, the persons who have taken part since last year. Next week, we can continue, Oscar. Some of the profundization with Sole. Yes, I think it will be very good to work next week with that, and it's important to do it next week. It's important because otherwise we are not going to have the time to finish it. And it's important to define how we are going to register that process, to fix the ideas. For example, if I'm going to share something about my project, in which way we are going to pass it from country to country, from the United States to Cameroon to other countries in Latin America. We have to work on something which is close, a symbol. If somebody has an idea about that symbol, please share it. Next week, we are going to work on that. I don't know how to do it because we always have two people on the sequence, you know. We need to think on how to pass, for example, the symbology of the basket that we were working with, how to pass threads or straps. I don't know, Anna, if you can help us. Not Michelle, but it's not only here on the screen, but as a concept on the video that you are going to work with. For example, Lorenza with the kids it's playing and she always throws into that direction. So I know already that I will need a ball because Lorenza passed a ball. So I take the ball that Lorenza throw and I receive it as if I would pass a word or something. That could be an idea, like something concrete that or a feather, for example. We can just throw a feather and we receive the feather, and the feather is it's the line to interweave the narration we are going to do. We could also do it with an element that it's a symbol of each initiative. For example, Lorenza could pass me a bulb, but I would receive like a seed of a palm. And the object will transform itself from project to project. That could be an idea. That's a very nice idea, Ricardo, that we can add. That I can pass that element like in a basket or in something secret, and and this element goes hidden and it gets open when the person starts the video, the ones who receives the package or something like that. If everybody is agree with that idea, it's important that each one of us think what it will be the element that will sort out of our baskets or bags.
It can be a teddy bear. It can be like a teddy bear of a chimpanzee bear. Iba a ser, pero it will be wonderful, Beth. I would love to get, but I know this is not sustainable. Hi, Wilson. Great ideas. And then now I'll know, and this is going to be part also of our final report. So we have the two things. We're going to add this to the content. So whoever is going to get the final report of this month of our project can have an idea throughout the video and also from the papers that Beth, David, and Robert are writing together. And then at the same time, we're going to have the possibility, hopefully, because we're really working hard and making the intention to really be together in September. Actually, that's the date we're thinking about. So Ricardo and Adrian, September, to be together in Barichara in a way that we can have our second movie, our second participatory video, where actually we can be together, and it's this one. So hopefully, let's work hard on that. Let's put our efforts and have the possibility to be all together. So let's go. And now, so just I would like to, yes, Sassy?
Michelle, tengo una pregunta
I have a question about the Prosocial workshop. I don't have clear what is the date of that workshop. We don't have the dates fixed. We can choose the dates. That's what we are going to define in our dialogue with Robert when he returns. But I think that it will be towards the end. Because we can do it like at the end of our meeting in Barichara.
Hi, Dunia, how are you?
Good, it's good to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. I'll ask you to introduce yourself in a couple of minutes. We're gonna have, we said 6:30, just double checking that, or 6.
I can do either 6 or 6:30. I can come back if it's better.
No, you can say it's better. You can just stay if you can and if you like. We're gonna have now Beth's representation about the research part. But just introducing everybody to Dunia, she's the one who's gonna be talking and presenting Prosocial World to us. She's also can speak in Portuguese and also in Spanish, so we can just challenge her in a way that she can talk in the 3 languages for this community to offer us a little bit about Prosocial. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, really? I didn't know this.
Eu falo português, mas eu não falo espanhol. Entende?
Mas ela entende. She
I speak
understands.
Portuguese, but I don't speak Spanish.
When you need it, Beth, you know now. We just open up. She has the Brazilian blood as well. So if you didn't know, she's always have the Latin American blood, even though she's in Canada, right? She's born in Canada. So let's go ahead. Beth, I'm gonna invite you now to bring over and just give us some guidelines throughout this, about this.
Okay.
report.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Okay, I will share my screen if that's okay. It's in English, but I want to show the template for the final report. So I wanted to let you know that the report is only 2,000 words. It is not it's not an extensive report. They want just facts. They don't really want they don't want to hear all about the love and all. I mean, if they do want to hear the love, but within this report, we don't, this will be just straightforward. It will be, I'll scroll here. We'll talk about the significant accomplishments, which I have all of your presentations. Thank you so much for sending them. I have all of your presentations that do seem to capture all of your accomplishments. So I have that information already. I have not started to draft the report, but I have, been looking through the presentations. So as far as it seems right now, I think I have all of the significant accomplishments reported to me, and we're good there. Couple of things that I would like to request. So additional reporting requirements. They are interested in learning of any private and or public events that may be related to this grant. So if you have any upcoming events, they want us to list them, and it sounds like the event in Barichara would be an exceptional one to list there. If there are anything related to your individual projects, no matter how big or small, it would be lovely for you to share those with us. So that's one request, upcoming events. Then my final request for the report are any attachments. They will let us provide as many attachments, as many extra documents as we want. So 2,000 words for the report, but then we can share all of these, any type of attachment that captures your project. So here are some examples, and many of these are not applicable, but for this context, but any research findings, any copies of publications, book manuscripts, any conference agendas, any curricula. I believe that there's some that's been developed and some resources. So maybe curricula, you could share any kind of the link to the video, Oscar, that you were the love video. That would be beautiful. That'll be beautiful to be part of this, I believe. All of your any website URLs. I know some of you have WhatsApp videos and that you shared during your presentations. So if there are links to, if you can help make those accessible, so I can somehow maybe attach a link or for them to review. That would be lovely. That's the template for the report. Now, this is an example of the report from last year. This is what you all and Robert, I believe, put together, and it's not that long. So we've got just a summary and then a list of the description of organizations. And I have all of this information. I have descriptions of your projects because you wrote your proposals. So I have all of that. And then the output updates. We just list them 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have many by then. We'll have many in there. And those outputs will be, I'll pull those from your presentations. I think the report is going to go very well. It's going to be straightforward. I have all of most of the information that I think that I need to get a draft together, to get maybe a skeleton to share with you all. And then you can fill in the blanks and make it be more in your language or your tone, or and then make sure I captured everything accurately and adequately. I think that's all. I'll stop right now to see if there are any questions about that. Any clarifications on the some of the requests, of the additional attachments and links and upcoming events?
You just need to wait, because sometimes we think nobody wants, but actually because we have the translation delay. Okay.
Thank you.
Então, eu queria perguntar.
Right, so I'd like to ask, June the 2nd, we had an event here at our village. Actually, I can include this event that we had. It was an award that the community received from a project that started in the school in 2017 that was taken to a maternity hospital here in the town, in which a few Guarani mothers, indigenous mothers, they need to go to the hospital in the city when they're in labor. And when a baby is born, there's a diet that's very rigid that we have to follow. And so in this project, we took to the maternity so that the nutritionist served our diet for our indigenous mothers. And this project received an award from Fiocruz Institute in Brazil, a very important scientific institution in Brazil. And that's going to become a publication. And also it's going to become a documentary that's going to be produced by Fiocruz itself. And it's going to be recorded in August. But the award was received on the 2nd of June. So can I include that, Beth? I think that's what she's asking.
Yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. Congratulations, that's wonderful.
Yo estoy un poco confundida.
I am a little bit confused. Things that we have done on the frame of Prosocial, or to add things that we have been doing in our own organization next to Prosocial.
As part of this process, as part of any activities or successes, achievements that you have, that your organization that you has experienced since last summer through the efforts of this journey that you and everybody and Robert have gone through. Does that make sense? It's hard for me to know how to tease apart the prosocial component in your project and a non-prosocial component. Michelle, can you help clarify?
Yes, let me try. Ceci, ¿has tenido la oportunidad de dibujar un proyecto alrededor?
Have you had the chance to present any project, Ceci, of the participatory video since last year. Have you had that chance or not?
Anything that actually, I'll try to, anything that we had that it's being impacted by the outcomes that we had the meetings, either prosocial journey in general, or it can be, for example, for Ricardo, he's been developing the project. It's not something that already had started, but being part of the community could give him some feedbacks and outcomes. For example, Mari has thought about the participatory video, and this year with the prosocial journey. So there are contents and things that you've been learning in this journey that is impacting into your process in the grassroots level, in your community, in your territory. This year, we have, besides the outcomes of the whole journey, we have this group, which co-facilitators, how to build this community, which is something that it's more extra. But in the first year, we were working a lot of contents related into your community. So is there anything that out of the journey that we've been going through, either the main journey or the participatory video, that had impacted your community or you, or the relations that you had around you? So those outcomes can come. So for example, if you had from this experience the reflections of emphasizing more work into with kids than just with adults in this syntropic agriculture, those are very beautiful insights of something that came from this part of the process of nurturing community relationship. Other things, like if you had something that has come after about taking care of yourself, as something important that outside or without this journey, you were not using as something that could be part of your processes in your project in the territory. So all of those things that come from this journey of psychological flexibility. I know we talk about content and concept. So flexible, Sci-Flex, also the principles of learning and getting to know better the proposal, the purpose, common purpose. The same time, how you're actually establishing those processes in your community with the people who is working with you. How the video make you to think about the relationships and prosociality in a different way. It doesn't need to go and work with the matrix or work with the principles, but what type of things enhance you to flourish as a community, as an individual, as the relationships in your territory that can come on board. It can get better or not get better, get a different perspective from the perspective before getting in contact with this project and now. Did I say right, Beth? I'm
That
trying
was,
to.
yes,
Okay.
that was perfect. I'm trying to read Ceci's expression.
Ceci, is that okay what I said? Is it, did it help?
Sí, sí, muchísimas gracias. Ya entiendo por dónde va la cosa.
Yes, now I understand better what the things are going towards.
Okay, good. Thank you, Michelle, for helping.
Oscar, do you have any question or any comments?
No, ya lo aclaró con la explicación, Michelle. Muchas gracias.
No, you made it clear with your explanation, Michelle. Thank you.
Wonderful. And as you all know, the report, or you maybe you don't know, the report is due in 2 weeks, in a couple of days at the end of this month. So any of the extra information that I had requested, if you could get that to us, you know, within the next week, that would be lovely. I know you're working on the videos though, so you can, you know, maybe push the other request until next week, so you finish the video, or, you know, the work that you're working on hard right now. Is that okay?
But I think it's going to be very important if you could give us like, okay, those are the things that it's possible, like just giving the highlights. Okay, what type of things you guys can bring out of this? And then we can share, and then they can send to you through email.
Okay.
Or just guidelines,
Okay.
and then I can share. Is it okay? Is it okay for everyone? Okay.
And it's okay if you don't have any additional information to share. I have so much good stuff already from everybody. So, okay.
Part of this content, one of the ideas we had as suggestions from Sole, and this is something that I'm trying to work with our budget, is to have that website. Do you remember everyone who worked together with Sole to have like a report, an online report, in a way that we can present and share all the projects in a media, as like Joe does very well, and all those. Sometimes we have so many different and great projects happening, but we don't actually put that and communicate. Mari has been saying that before. Since of the beginning, she became one of the co-facilitators in a way that, we could promote and communicate better the individual initiatives and our project as well. So we can think about that in a way that we can have that promotion. So to have that guidelines in the website, it's something that we're going to be adding this information that Beth is doing as well. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Anything else, Beth, that would you like to add?
No, I believe that covers it for that report. Was there anything else that that you were wanting me to talk about beyond the report?
I think they're gonna have things that is gonna go in flow. A lot of things happening at once. I know they're writing many things here. I'm also having some questions in the backstage, but then we can come along. Oscar, would you like to share, open up the YouTube video, or would you like me to open?
Bueno, es el primer borrador.
This
¿sí?
is the first draft of the video. We have to see it just to decide what we add, what we take away. We need the translation. But if you want, each one of us can have a look at it. It's on the chat, the link for everyone to see.
Eu sinto o amor acontecendo na nossa comunidade de
I feel
facilitadores.
love happening in our community of facilitators who support the project when we use the art of the drawings to bring what matters to us, what's our common purpose. The beauty of feeling love in each community, each organization, and each project being put into a same fire to the service of something larger. May we pulsate together with this collaboration, with this Latin American love to the entire planet. Love is this. I love the trees, the forest, my family is here. I love that they are up. Oh, she's speaking Spanish, sorry.
Para mí, verlas en pie, proteger a ellas, es amor.
En este sentido, el amor permite cuidar, permite al otro desplegarse para alcanzar sus propósitos, permite identificar qué es lo que queremos cuidar y que aprendamos en un entorno de seguridad psicológica.
En nuestro caso, el amor que recibimos cuando fuimos niños, ahora lo estamos retornando desde el arte a las comunidades.
Solo trabajar unidos por el amor a la tierra que habitamos, sembrando semillas de cuidado, nos permitirá cosechar el futuro sostenible que soñamos.
Com amor, nós podemos cultivar melhores relações com
With
nós.
love, we can better cultivate relationships with ourselves, with others, and with the world.
Como está sendo bonita essa jornada.
How
Bonita.
beautiful this journey has been, beautiful and special, in a way that we can unite all of these loves that are locally put to the service of a broad Latin America, and that we can also work together on the regeneration of the planet by doing that.
Tengo los pañuelos aquí, va a ser más caro ahora.
I have here the napkins, and they're going to be more expensive now.
Bueno, queda la tarea de que lo vean con el enlace. Ahorita
It's
lo
im-
pongo en el grupo, en el WhatsApp.
You will have the task to see it.
Bueno, ¿qué le podemos poner? ¿Qué
And what do you think it's worth to add? And when we decide
a ver si la chica
that is ready, if our translators can help us,
para ponérselos y mandárselo a David.
will be the last bit to do before we send it to David.
¿Puedo ayudar con la traducción? Se necesita también. Entonces está.
I can help with the translation as well.
Me encantó, Oscar. Muy bonito. No sé qué les dijo, pero le
Very good, Oscar. I love it.
aprecio tu arte, tu
I really appreciate your art and your talent
que lo pone a servicio de nosotros.
that you put it at our service
Se queda cada mes
to pass this message and to dive deeper into the concept of art and love. And thank you for putting some of us
que podamos, que nos hace sentir más humanos a cada momento que estamos juntos.
A cada momento. Que todos nós estamos juntos olhando.
Resuelto de algo muy bonito que estamos haciendo
is the
individualmente.
result of something nice that we are doing collectively. Thank you very much for your time and your talent at our service. I just added all the images that you sent me, but it's the result of what you sent it to me. Thank you for sending me the material. So here is the result. It's the first attempt that we can do a good video with the second challenge that we have.
Voy a abrir para que todos se pongan en el chat. Oh, perdón. I'm making a mixture of everything. I'll try to do it in English. No, but it's good to have that, Oscar, because it's a good talent to be offered. I will try to do something like that, and then you would see how hard it is to connect talent and soul and service into something that is special. It is special for humankind. But thank you so much. I know, and thank you to everyone who's been developing this content all together. And also Adrian and Ricardo. This is not our formal and final collective video from this journey. This is just something that is coming as a special request from David. But if you would like to bring something and add, you're more than welcome as well to come on board. Just breathe. I would like to ask everybody to just write an appreciation or something about the video, or if you have any suggestions or comments about the video in the chat, so we can have a short feedback. Is it possible? And in a few minutes, I'm gonna invite Beth. Can I invite already Dunia to do her presentation related to Prosocial? Are you done with the content, or?
I am, yes.
Thank you so much, Beth, for bringing that content as well. It's also a learning process that is really important to all of us. So thank you and much appreciation for bringing that for us.
Absolutely.
Michele, pienso que sería muy bueno hacer esta invitación para Ricardo y Adrián.
It would be very interesting to invite Adrián and Ricardo to add some participations from Ricardo and Adrián if we have the time. I don't know if we can add one extra day to have those that material. We did this video yesterday. So the idea is that in a very short sentence, how is love present in your process? You can see the video to orientate yourself, especially Adrian and Ricardo, and send me and to share the platform where they can put the material. Michelle, thank you. This is just recently done, but of course we can add any material because the word of Adrian and Ricardo and Lina is missing in this video. It would be nice if they can add something to it.
Vale, solamente le gustaría a Oscar de compartir cómo hacer.
Could you please give the indications on how to use the phone, Oscar, for implementing the recording of the videos? So, Adrián, Ricardo, just try to avoid noise in your surroundings when you do your recording, and use the telephone on the horizontal way, not vertical. That's the only constraint that we have. And just to think beforehand what you are going to say, so that you are able to work very synthetically. Is that good, Adrian, Ricardo?
Great, thank you so much, everybody. Good, Marcelo, to have that really clear. And at the same time, today we're going to have one presentation of organization, which I think is really important to have, so everybody can get to know a little bit more about Prosocial World. And I'm gladly to have this invitation, and Dunia had accepted to come over. And then I'll ask you to introduce yourself and talk. Dunia, especially, usually we have 10 minutes of presentation, but you can have like shorter time in a way that we can also offer you gifts or suggestions or appreciations about Prosocial as a whole. So this is what we're gonna have in our baskets. At the same time, I'm gonna be sharing the mirror board because today Mateus could not come, but I'll try to replace him in this facilitation process. He does this very well and so important. So I'm gonna share here our mirror board link. Copy board in our chat. Thank you for the messages in the chat about the video as well. And I'm gonna open one for Prosocial World. Yes, Beth?
Sorry, I interrupted. So when Dunia and I were talking about what to what would be valuable or interesting to present, we decided we didn't want to just focus on just one project. So Dunia had I thought a wonderful idea about what she's going to present, because we think that it might actually be, you know, of value, not just of interest. So I'm really excited to see what you all think. So there's my opening to you, Dunia.
Dunia, just let me share with you. So here we have our baskets, and we're gonna have one for Prosocial World, which is here. I'm gonna just change positions in a way that it's easier for us to see. But this is what we are being gifting each others with questions or presents or compliments or suggestions that we could also offer for you as a Prosocial World organization. Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat so everybody is already used to do it and just come along, and then I will hand it to you, Dunia.
Thank you, Michelle. So with regards to my presentation, I will introduce Prosocial, and this is really an invitation. So perhaps we'll see how the mirror board might be. I might have another question that you can put answers to there. So I think many of you know me because I went through the participatory video course with you. So I remember sharing space with Marilyn and Adrian and working on the videos that had Ricardo in it and Lorenza and Sissy and Oscar. So it's really nice to be back here. So my name is Dunia, and I've been with Prosocial World for 9 months now as the community catalyst. My original title was Community Development Manager. So I'm going to share slides, and it's going to be about Prosocial generally, but very much then it's going to go quickly into community and how we might co-create, because if I'm correct, this is the space for co-creation. So I would love for that to be the focus. Okay. So sharing my screen. I think this works. Can you see my slides? Is it full screen?
Yes.
Yes. Dunia, just let them know where you are and what is I'm saying to everybody, to everyone that you have connection with Latin America.
Okay, I'll do that first. So I'm in Southwest Nova Scotia on unceded Mi'kmaq territory. My name is Dunia. Dunia means world. My mother is Brazilian. My father is Moroccan. I was born in Norway. I grew up in South France, Philippines, Morocco, and I studied in California. So I've been very lucky to be the kind of this butterfly that's gone a bit everywhere. And I find that it's been very lucky, but also very hard to be unrooted so many times. So this is the first time in my life that I get to root since I was 6. So this place now in Canada on the coast, the Atlantic coast, feels like home. And this is a conversation that I think really came to life for me with Marilyn when we were talking about roots and kind of this cosmo-local, this reality that we're in, where we all get to be connected, both locally but also on a global level and learning together. Yeah, Michelle, did that do the trick? Okay, so sharing my screen again. So, Prosocial World. I'd love to start with this quote. Teamwork is the ability to work together towards a common vision, the ability to direct individuals' accomplishments toward organizational objective. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. And this is a beautiful presentation that I'm trying out. It's a deck that we have for our organization. So you're all with me on this journey of kind of discovering it. What is Prosocial World? Prosocial World help groups become more cooperative, adaptable, and resilient. So we're a nonprofit with this idea that we really need rapid cultural change. And we can achieve that by recognizing how interconnected we are, and to become conscious about improvement. That's the research component of always improving how we relate to ourselves, each other, and the planet. And so our purpose is to consciously evolve a world that works for all. And we are a collection of scientists, academics, business people, and community, lots of community. In my case, as a community catalyst, I interact with a lot of different types of people. And the idea here is to explore the intersection of social, behavioral, and evolutionary science, and how they interact with what we might call spirituality. But really, what is Prosocial? I like to think of Prosocial as a book, a process, and a community. So this is our book that came out that Paul, who you probably have met through the participatory video, and David, who you've also met, and Eleonore Ahlstrom, who won the Nobel Prize for her work on the commons. And the idea here is that we have these pillars of the work with the behavioral sciences, psychological flexibility, perspective taking, emotional self-regulation, and values clarity and committed action, in order to build power, wit, and through that do conscious evolution. So this part is the process, which you must recognize this graphic because it is signature Robert Stiles work, and it is our process, which you can also explore on our website, and which I know that you've been an integral part of developing and testing. So what I want to focus on is really the community and this experiential learning, and that is quite exciting, the opportunity to do community research and to learn together what works, what doesn't work, in order to do cultural transformation in our own communities. And so let's build our networks together is my invitation to you. So the opportunity I see is that last time I joined this meeting, I was reminded of how fractal this work is, because what you were talking about, I sat on this meeting, and what you were talking about was touching me so much in my own world. And I was thinking, oh, wow, we really are in this phase where we are very coming together. And what does it look like to take responsibility for co-creating the world we want? And so I'm going to share what I think is the area which might be really interesting and fun for us to think about, and I think that not only will it be fun, it will be potentially very beneficial to your network moving forward. And that is, the small ones are the ones that are like, one is the community research. We have community members that have gone through the facilitator training who are now thinking about how they want to do research in their community, and then do case studies and report back on what they're learning. And I know that with participatory video, I think there are opportunities for you to tell your stories going forward, even beyond this project, and share that on the Prosocial website. And I would love to explore that. Another one is what's being built now, which is the resource hub on the website. We don't have, as of now, our resources, which would be like workshop outline and different resources to download. And I'm curious, like, what would be really helpful for you if you wanted to, like, there'll perhaps no. Perhaps the question here is, once it's out, I would love feedback from the Latin American community on what's working, what's not working, and what's not there that you'd like to see. But what I want to focus on right now is the high-low community. So I know that you communicate with WhatsApp as of now, and we're about ready to launch our Prosocial World High-Low, which brings together all of these other high-low groups that have formed. High-Low is an open source platform, social media platform that has the ability to connect many groups, and for us to be doing our work out loud. And I believe that that might be a really interesting way for you to work within your project and also across your projects. And what I'll do is that I'll go into the Prosocial World High-Low briefly. This is not live yet, but I really feel like this, if there is one place to start, is probably with the Latin American community. One of the things here, let me see, is our community ethos tells you a bit about how to interact in the space. Practice active listening and respectful communication. Foster a culture of collaboration. Respect diversity and inclusion. Be accountable for your action and words. Be mindful of time. Embrace everyone's experimentation and learning. Keep purpose in mind. So this is the culture that we're developing in each of our groups. And what I mean by each of our groups is that right now there's an active facilitators community. There's something called the Prosocial Commons, which started about a year ago, which has many different initiatives in it. And then there is a regeneration group that is linked to the Earth Regenerators and Joe Brewer's work. And there's a spirituality group that has a course right now, and they've just designed their space really beautifully. And when you create a post, I won't go into the details, but I would love to explore what's possible there. And if you're even interested, and maybe you're not interested, but I would really be curious to discuss that with you. And one of the things I'm very excited about that's not quite there yet is that there would be a lounge area, which is kind of this, this is the free version, so it won't give you the full extent of what's possible. But it's basically a space that you can come anytime and meet with each other. And you see where I press is where my voice gets projected within that circle. And you can have conversation and do work synchronously, in addition to the asynchronous posting that happens on the different groups. And you can post in many groups. It has many features, but that's kind of the direction, is how can you envision perhaps using a platform for your work moving forward. And with that, I think that given that we only have 10 more minutes and I probably went over, I'll stop there. And I'm happy to come back and have this conversation, but I thought I would introduce that here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dunia. Thank you, Dunia. I was wondering if you might be able to give just one quick example of a group that has been started on Hilo, and how the membership has grown to where, so it would, so we have environmental conservation experts on this call, and social change, and education. So there could be, you know, a theme, a group on the Hilo, a theme of what you're interested in, and then other people from the outside can, you know, you can expand the network beyond just this network. I know I'm not explaining that well, Dunia, but I wondered if you could provide just an example of, like, so maybe a group started at 2 people and then now it's at, you know, 47 members or so.
Thank you, Beth. In our pro-social community, the only place where that's kind of happened is the comments, because the pro-social world Hilo hasn't been launched yet. And I think it would be hard for me to let me see if I can do that. Let me see. So you see, I'm part of many groups. Maybe the pro-social commons is a good place to do that. Oh, actually, you know what? There is an interesting way that we can do that with our pro-social world. It's not live yet, but it is. There are a few members, and so what they've been able to do, that might be an easier example. Pro-social world. So you see in this button here, when you do that, you can see posts from different groups that are connected. So for example, Kate is posting in a different group, but then I get to see it here. The other thing that's really interesting is when you have tags, you can look at the tags that people are posting across groups that you're in. It's hard for me to explain here. And part of it is that we haven't, in full honesty, we haven't yet. I don't think that this has been fully used to its potential. And I know that in other networks it has. And so maybe I'll share a little video of another network after this call where they've achieved it. They're doing it. But in our ecosystem, the potential is there, but it hasn't been activated. And so all that to say, you can definitely send posts to different groups and do posts within your group, which is, I think, what you were trying to refer to, Beth.
And one thing worth noting is there's a Spanish version.
Oh, yes.
But they're not, but they're working, they don't have Portuguese.
Yes,
Yeah.
they have a Spanish version. I spoke to them today. They're working, I think, in a couple of months. So now they're working on the Spanish version on mobile because there is the mobile app. And they're in a couple of months when they have finalized that, then they'll expand to further languages. So for now, it's Spanish and English.
Thank you, Dunia.
But you can type in your language, of course.
Thank you, Dunia. I know we gave a very hard time, and now I could realize for the interpreters, because I could realize that I probably speak very fast as well. Sorry.
Oh, I realized, and I was thinking about that.
Disculpe. But thank you for showing me the speed that I usually probably speak. And I know there's a lot of content, so thank you so much for bringing up, and we gave you like 10 minutes to finish up. But I think there's a lot of opportunities. So Ceci, I think we know that you could see we have many different prosocial communities. When Dunia had shared, we also can have our prosocial Latin America. We haven't opened yet. So anything that we are using it, instead of having our own WhatsApp, even though we love that, we can start engaging with people on that space. And at the same time, when we talk about the program, Prosocial Experiential Learning Journey from Latin America, Dunia, that I had mentioned to you, that I think Robert had said, that this is the group that probably is going to be co-facilitating and co-designing that experience together with Robert. And then we will be able to offer in this whole community you guys been seeing in the Prosocial world. I'm not sure how many are actually engaged now, but I know that I think Dunia had mentioned that we have more than 700 facilitators already around the globe. And this organization has just formally started in 2020. Is that right, Dunia? Double checking with you.
2020. Oh, Hilo?
No. Prosocial World as organization has just started. It's not something old. As organization, it started in 2020. I'm not sure.
2021. Yeah.
2021. So just letting you know, like the scientific part, yes, the whole content, the theory, the book, the science and behind, it's way older than the organization. So everything that Dunia is bringing up, everything that we are feeling and building together in this community in Latin America, this is all like not prototyping. I don't like to use prototyping word, but it is something that we're like working and learning as communities, as people, and offering. So anytime that we say that we could offer anything that we're learning as Latin Americans together in this program, Latin Americans plus Cameroon in this project, we're also having the opportunity to offer to the Prosocial World Organization as a whole. And anything that they're having, prosocial spirituality, education, all those schools that they're having as groups and projects around this international community, they're doing the same. They're learning, they're prototyping, they're working together, and how we can enhance that in a way that we can promote this big change that we all want to see in the planet. So coming from different perspectives and possibilities, and working in a way that we can have the impact in our individual level, in our organizations level, in our cross country and cross organization level, ecosystem level, and all of that. So in this way, we can actually promote and be this spiral that we want to see. So I would like to open up to see if anyone has any other question that we could bring to Dunya related to the organization, or any appreciation that you would like to have your microphone open to share with her.
Bueno, de mi parte, agradecerte, Dunia, por la
From my
presentación.
side, I just want to thank you for your presentation. Very concise, lots of information. And I would like to ask you if it is possible to access the slides that you use in your presentation. Thank you. I just love it. And I can't wait until Hilo is working, because I think it's a wonderful tool to use to enhance the contact virtually and directly. I think it's a wonderful tool, this platform.
And Dunia has direct communication with the developers of Hilo, and has brought feedback to the developers on frequent occasion to feedback to improve Hilo. And Dunia has just been amazing setting up these pages and having them be as user-friendly as they can. At this point, it's still just slightly clunky, but the developers know that, and so Dunia is just doing amazing work there. And thank you so much for coming and sharing all that with us, Dunia.
Thank you, Beth. I actually now want to do more the Access Hilo. I'm gonna put an invitation out to your group specifically. I think I would like you to be the first ones, and maybe Michelle and Marcelo, we can meet so that we can think about how we do the invitation and create a little group, and how we might do the onboarding experience for everyone. And hopefully, and if you, and I'm here to help so that it can be helpful. And we can also find, because many others are using Hilo, who are the other people in Latin America using Hilo, so that you can be connected with others and grow the network.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much, Donia. I think one thing that would be, maybe, I don't know in terms of technology, but if Hilo could offer us a very quick translation process in terms of Portuguese, Spanish, and English, because sometimes this can be a barrier, but also can be a strong opportunity to share ideas and talk to each other. So maybe, with artificial intelligence, maybe it's not so difficult to do that. So just a suggestion.
Oh, this is awesome. Thank you, Marcelo. I will report back. I'm working with them on getting grants to do kind of course, like a course for anyone on on Hilo to become better at being prosocial and interacting better on the platform. So we are very close partnership. And so any feedback that you have, that's another part. Is like, sure, it's a seed as well. It's a prototypical project also, but the potential here is that we help them shape it. So yes.
Yo tengo una curiosidad acerca del nombre del proyecto.
I have a curiosity about the name of the platform.
Mm.
Es que suena un poco como
It sounds
en el video que estamos haciendo,
a bit like,
tratando de tener un hilo, o sea,
because in our video we are trying like to work on a thread, and in Spanish the word for thread is hilo, which is very similar to hilo. So, and this thread is what makes possible to interweave our projects the way we do it. So I wondered if I had something in that relation.
I'm not sure what I'll ask them, but from a quick Google search, it says that it has to do with matter, combining form.
But I like the thread translation better, and that's more applicable to the Latin American context. I like that, the thread translation. We should tell Hilo that they've got it wrong. Dunia froze.
Yes, thank you, Beth. Thank you, Dunia, for the interaction and bringing a little bit of Prosocial here, because this is a lot. I think Dunia did a great job to actually combine in 5 minutes. I don't know how many minutes, just like blah, blah, blah. And much appreciation to the interpreters as well, because they probably did a great, wonderful job to translate everything in the speed of Dunia. So thank you so much, everybody. Just to honor our time today as well, and also because we probably have a meeting right after, I think, also as well. But we would like to much appreciate, just to combine and emphasize the invitation. We're gonna have a meeting together with Dunia just to make sure how we're gonna do our processes of high-low for Latin America community, and then we can bring on board. It can be either in a meeting separate with Marcelo, or we can do it together with our co-facilitator as well. Okay, we can do that. And then also emphasizing the invitations for Adrian and Ricardo to write your videos for, if it's possible, from today to tomorrow at the most in the morning. So can Oscar can actually add that, and we can offer to David to use this video in the conference. So we're going to be sharing this first version. Thank you so much, Oscar, and everybody who had recorded everything for today. In the meeting with him in a couple of minutes. But then we're going to tell him that, yes, we still have to put and add the subtitles and the videos from Ricardo and Adrian. Okay. Next week, we're going to have our collective video with Sole together with all of you in a way that we can start talking and thinking about that. And also be inviting all of you to have this message from Beth, giving us the guidelines of what else we could be adding as a collective effort to have a very an amazing final report. And all these things that we are using for this final report, it's going to be some of the incomes for future projects. So just to think, not something that is finishing now, that we're going to be sent and we're going to be finished. This is the incomes that we have, and we're going to have the inputs for our next projects that we're going to be applying for funds and working all together. And at the same time, it's going to be the content that we wanted to open up a website, not website, but a landing page, if I'm not wrong, to have formalized all the organization's projects and everything. And Ashley will be sending to all of you an email formalizing so we can have all these funds being honored and sent to all of your organizations, okay, by this Friday. So I think is this, anything else that we needed to add? Lorenza, let's see. Yes?
yo quiero preguntar una cosa. Lo de ver los insumos que
I want to ask something. What Beth is asking for to finish the report, she's going to share the format and we are going to fill in, or how can we add to this report?
I could I could put a Google Doc together with the outline of just I think there were three sections with the guidance, and so I'll have a section for like links for attachments or something, and you can just paste within the document. Michelle, is that a good suggestion?
Or Beth, you can do what Ceci had recommended. Maybe you can put in a Google Docs a copy of it, and then just emphasize in the different colors what is actually something that's really important for us to add. But if someone here has experience and they would like to add something else in the other chapters or other paragraphs, they can also, they're open. But the ones that is really important for us to go and share with you more content, just put like in yellow or something like that. What do you think? Is it a good for everyone? For you, Beth, makes sense?
Yes, that makes sense. I will do that. Does that seem adequate, Ceci?
Okay, then if you could share in our Latin American WhatsApp group, the one that have everybody, and then just share the link, and then everybody's gonna be aware of where actually and the dates and times. I think it's good as well if you could give us like some deadlines in a way that we can guide ourselves towards this main challenge and goal.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Michelle. I will do that.
Any other questions? Okay. Lorenza? Okay.
Vamos a dejar comentarios en el canasto de...
Are we going to leave comments on the basket of Prosocial since the presentation of Dunia? Yes, please do it. So if you haven't made any suggestion or any offer, if you have questions to Prosocial, please leave it in the basket of Prosocial World through the Miro link that Michelle shared with us.
Miro board, right? So there are a couple of things.
Here there are a couple.
Reading, do you read Spanish? All right. So after I'll print it for you, but guys, I will ask to keep on doing and writing the comments and questions for Prosocial World being represented by Dunia and Beth today. And also any questions that you might have, it can be related to our project or it can be related to the organization Prosocial World, please do. Because now we are part of this huge community. And it's a huge privilege to be together with all those wonderful people you might have the chance to meet in different situations from now on. And at the same time, part of this group that we were thinking about, maybe if we think and agree as a community that we would like to invite for Barichara possible visit and workshop that we're going to have together. This is also you can see like spirituality, schools. There's some of the groups that we also could be inviting that could be interested in coming and engaging with ourselves. And it can be even people from Latin America who are attending and participating in a couple of those projects. So those are the opportunities. It doesn't need to be. We can keep on doing and talking, but to have an idea how broad it is, this community, and how many and how much we can actually could be impacting and be impacted by, because there's so many wonderful people, I can say that. So thank you so much for everybody. Lorenza, would you like to try your checkout today and then we can finish our meeting today? Beth?
Oh, I thought, I thought you said Lorenza to.
Yeah, I said, but since your microphone was open, I was thinking you would like to talk or something.
Oh, no, I do not want to talk. I did my fabulous check-in, and so I'm gonna leave with that because that was a success.
That's your Latin American soul coming through you too. Lorenzo, would you like to do our checkout?
Michelle hoy está tomando a todos por sorpresa.
Michelle is just firing at everyone today by surprise.
Intentando hacer el checkout hace casi como 4 o 5 encuentros.
Lorenza has been trying to do the checkout round already 3 or 4 times. That's why I'm inviting her.
Sí, la verdad es que ya incluso olvidé que tenía preparado para ese checkout.
I even forgot what I had prepared for the checkout. I was thinking of something new. I don't have the creativity very much activated to date, but I would like to invite you to, well, I don't know. I don't have like a new idea. And perhaps to share in a short sentence its value. If you would like to share an object or a sentence with the group, I would like to share something that I received from the family of Marcelo in Chile, which is made of hairs of horses, and it's a butterfly. And I love it because the butterfly is a symbol of freedom for me. And I would like to offer to our community a collective of butterflies with the ability of the handicrafts of our countries and remembering us of developing what we can do in our continent.
Would you like to pass to somebody, Michelle?
¿Te gusta?
I'm not sure if she heard it.
I didn't have the translation on for the instructions, and that went above my level of Spanish. Whoops.
Just bring a message, or if you have any objects around you that you would like to share as a message for our checkout.
Okay, mariposa ×2 with the glasses.
Pass to someone.
I will pass it to Sissy.
Bueno, yo les quiero compartir mi avión privado.
I want to share my private plane to take you from all the different parts of the world right now that you come here and we work together. So I will send you my imaginary private plane to everywhere so that you come straight away. And I pass the word to Ricardo. I have this object, which is a handicraft from Colombia, to put the napkins, the paper napkins. And it's very traditional in the south part of Colombia. And it's an object that I have, as many others, just to feel the connection with my country. And I give the floor to Adrian.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. I'm sorry I don't have no interesting object around me, but I can just give all of you a virtual hug and believing that this love will continue to grow every day. Thank you very much. I'll pass it to Marilyn.
Thank you, Adrian. Well, I'm very happy to have received all of these gifts. I already envision myself in Barichara, already working with Ceci. In my imaginary field, I am already living there in the imaginary field. And we offer our prayer here, our pipe, our chapchaka, to internalize and think and perform and accomplish in so many beautiful words so that everything happens in the best way so that we can reach a lot of places and a lot of hearts. And so I pass the floor to Oscar.
Gracias, Marilene. Bueno, acá
Thank you,
tengo
Marilene. I have here some letters from our kids that I'm working with, the short stories that they have given to me to interweave and to make a theater piece. So I'm enchanted reading these letters to create the theater piece, and I give the floor to Marcelo.
Bueno, yo tengo este objeto acá que significa muchas
I have this object here
del tiempo, pero también las conexiones posibles que hacemos juntos y que
that represents the connections that we can achieve together, because we have this path, which is the path of love, the path that each one of us needs to do to achieve connections. I also like to to talk about the concept of time that is also included in this object. And thank you. And I give the floor to Lorenza. I will bring something very practical that is never too much. That is my agenda to planify, because I write down what I do every day and helps me to get organized and to keep calm in face of so many things and change and the hectic of everyday life. And I give the floor to Beth.
Thank you, Lorenza. Looking around my desk to see what I can share, and I suppose since I shared a little bit about my life and my journey today, and that included my talking about my son, who is 23 years old now. This was him when he was 10. Can you see the glare? No, not so much. Anyway, that's when he was sweet. He's not sweet anymore. He's not very sweet anymore. That's my son, Isaac Hawk. Here's this lovely coaster that I brought home from a trip to Portugal with my mother. I told you all before that my mother and I were not very close. This was last year. We went to Portugal together to try to strengthen our relationship, and we made a lot of progress. So that's good. And let's see, I'll pass to one of our interpreters, Anna, Carolina, Maritza, would you like? Or did everybody else went, yes?
I would like to share with you this object, which is something I do to gain calm and clarity when I'm working on my desk. I interweave physically with threads, and I have always projects at hand to be working. So I share with you these moments of peace that I try to get through this weaving physically.
Thank you, Maritza. Carol, would you like to come on board, and Anna? I'm gonna hear you in English.
Okay,
gonna hear
I'll
you in
speak in
English.
English. I'll speak in English. I'll speak in English. I feel very embarrassed, but I'll show you my pants here very quickly. These are from my grandma. So I just love all the old people in my family, and I'm very, very, very close to them. And she passed away a long time ago, but whenever I use it, I just feel happy. So I'll just translate that into Portuguese to Mari very quickly.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anna, if you would like to come on board, please let me know. Just open your camera and come. I'm not sure if she's gonna be there. Let's see. Yeah, I think she's not around. Sometimes she leaves it everything recording and she needs to leave. When she's here, she opens the camera and participates, but it's not always that she's being the whole meeting. So much appreciation to her. Oh, she's having a huge headache. So I'll be quick. Okay, no worries. Get better. So thank you so much for today's session. Thank you to everybody who came and stayed at this time, and also to nurture and nourish all this community. And hopefully all this all the efforts, love, and all this information that we've been scrambled all together at the same time, building beautiful things all together, can be offered to the regeneration of our planet. So anything that we do, we're always together. We're always supporting to each other. But it's beautiful to be around and work with people and organizations and different and special people towards something that goes beyond ourselves. So thank you so much for the opportunity. We see you, some of you, I think we see you next week. And then we'll be keeping in touch. Any questions, any suggestions and recommendations, just keep on going, writing in the WhatsApp, and then we keep on connecting outside of this meeting. Thank you so much. Warm hugs to Lena, Ricardo, please, to everybody. And
Thank you.
yes, bye guys, ladies and
everybody.
gentlemen.
See
Bye
you.
bye
Thank you.
everybody.
Gracias a
Thank you.
todos,
Thank you.
todas.
Chao,
Chao, chao.
pessoal.
Gracias.
É.